everyone, welcome to Manchester Youth Empowerment Club. I'd just like to say thank you for joining us and accepting this invite for our talk show today. So a big welcome to Milade.
Thank you, Eniola. Thanks for having me here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
And a massive welcome to Enioluwa.
Thank you for having me, Eniola. I really appreciate this opportunity.
My name is Eniola and I'll be your host for today. So the topic that we're going to be discussing is peer pressure different for boys and girls? Enioluwa, you'll be giving us the boys' perspective, and Temilade, you'll be talking to us about the girls' perspective. So here's how it's going to work. So first, we'll have you state 2 points each. Then we'll have you responding to each of his points. And lastly, we'll have final statements. So first, we'll be starting with Temilade. So go ahead.
Thanks very much, Eniola. Before I start, I'd like to define peer pressure first so that our audience understands what we're talking about exactly. All right, so peer pressure can be defined as basically the influence that anyone in a common circle with you has on you. So basically the influence your family has on you, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, basically anyone whom you consider of relative importance to you, and how their decisions may or may not affect yours. Okay, so now bringing it back to the question, is peer pressure different for boys and girls? Frankly, I feel like it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing for both genders. It's just the look of it that might be different. So, you see that both parties definitely been raised from small, with this same social circle and everything. Like I said, people you hold relative importance, they're definitely going to affect your decisions. So, but we see it very commonly amongst girls and young women, right? How social media actually has the major instruments there. You see people, young women, adults, everyone on social media now getting influenced by each other. Because when you think about it, social media is kind of like a society on its own, right? It's all of us, it's individuals. We're just there and we're using it as a medium of expression. But then, seeing these people, people within your age class, people with the aspirations, the dreams that you want to chase after, you see the way they live their lives, and sometimes it affects you in the terms of, okay, I mean, this is the way this person is patterning their life, like, and it's working for them. So I must pattern my life after that. So like, if you see someone that, let's say for example, a girl of 15, right? A girl of 15, she doesn't really know much. Maybe she even comes from like a kind of quiet home. They are not really exposed to the outside world like that. But then she gets on social media. She sees someone that is 16, right? She dreams of being a singer. The person also is a singer. And this person, maybe the person is like portraying a kind of character that is not exactly right, that is not exactly good, maybe just like posting themselves, posing, like putting out their themselves in a particular image that is not really right. Even if ideally, like at the back of her mind, she's like, oh no, I don't want to act like this, I don't want to be this person. But because she can see the way it is working out for that person in that field, she will pattern her life after it, because she's like, okay, since this person is doing this, like I also have to bend to it. So if that person says, oh no, you guys don't go to school, sleep at home, just relax, school is for losers, she'll be like, oh, I mean, if she's saying that it's for losers, and I mean she's this person, oh, then definitely, like, it must be true. So she wants to follow after it.
Yeah, so that was a really great point, Temilade, especially how you defined what peer pressure actually is. So that's great. Next, we'll be bringing in Enioluwa.
All right, thank you very much, Eniola, for that. I personally think that peer pressure on both male and female is slightly different, because young men growing up, they come to this realization that I'm becoming a man, and it bring them to that consciousness of being independent, of being strong, of being curious, of being adventurous, and they'll find themselves in this circle of, my guy is doing something, I can do it too. So they'll want to feel among, they'll want to belong to the society, they want to belong to anything. They just want to do what they feel that is right because other people are doing it. But in high school, for example, it consists of students and people from different background, different family. Our religion is different, ethnic group different, but we come together to merge them in the same academic environment. And that type of setting will create an imbalance, and everybody will want to imitate one another. One person might feel that he's doing something that is not right or is not generally acceptable. And if he's not able to meet up with the standard of the others, he will not be accepted into that status quo. Let me put it that way. So in this sense, a young man that finds himself in that situation where he cannot meet up to standard will want to copy others, even though what they are doing might not be right, might not be socially proper. Like for example, young men will tend to start to impress women. They want to be able to afford little things that their friends are using, like expensive gadgets and co. They want to be playing video games. They want to be doing a lot of things because they are just eager. They have this adventurous spirit in them, and that's not actually bad at all. But the problem is where to draw the line. When you begin to do things that is putting you into danger, when you begin to do things that will make you regret later in future, and that is where peer pressure become a problem. So secondly, I would like to emphasize on the fact that peer pressure can be on two factors. It can either be positive or negative influence. I'll take myself for an example. But when I finished my high school, I saw my friends playing the guitar, learning a musical instrument. Some of them were doing things that can be profitable for them. And I also wanted to be like them. If you ask me, is this a very good ambition? Yes, it is. And that was peer pressure on my part. But it led me to a positive change, and I was able to learn to play the guitar, and I really enjoy it now. So I can say that specifically I was able to inculcate that pressure, and it was able to help me positively. But if on the other part, which is negative, probably I found myself doing things I was not supposed to do, based that was not based on my moral upbringing, or was not even standard, or maybe I found myself committing crimes or doing a lot of things that was not proper. I will live to regret those things, and that will be the result of yielding to negative impact of peer pressure.
Yeah, so really great point there, Inioluwa, especially how you gave us some examples of the behaviors that, the boys could actually be going through for peer pressure. So next, we'll be going to the next part where we'll have you responding to each of us comments. So I'll be starting with Timilade.
Thank you, Eniola. Okay, so you asked me to draw from the points that Enioluwa made. Like I said before, this peer pressure topic, it's the same thing between boys and girls. It may look different, but it's still the same thing. All right, so you mentioned an example where you said a boy, put in an academic environment, he'd like to, groom himself, raise himself to like meet the standards of his peers and everything. It's the same thing for girls. So human beings, by nature, we are social creatures, right? We want to fit in, we want to adapt to our environment. So put a girl in a place where all of our friends are maybe related, maybe by relationship or like by coincidence, to people that have high standards. Let's say, for example, celebrities. Maybe someone that knows celebrities and like, okay, so they're feeding off that, right? She would also automatically want to fit into that concept of, okay, this my friend knows this person. So even if it means lying about it, even if she doesn't actually know these people, she may just lie, like, okay, so when you're citing an example and saying, oh yeah, I know Michelle Obama, I'm like, oh, okay, I know Billie Eilish too, all those kind of things. So that's just the effect that, in a way, it's kind of like, it's more like a psychological peer pressure on them to just fit in with what their peers are saying, what they are doing. So put in another environment too, where maybe you're surrounded by friends that are rich, right? So, and maybe you're not really from a well-off background. Even if it means wearing clothes that are way above your budget, way above your savings, very discomforting to your parents. Some people will put themselves through that. Why? Just because when they show up to the place, they want to actually look like they belong in the place. And they don't want their friends to start making statements like, oh, where did you get this skirt from? Oh, like this doesn't fit in, right? So it's more like a psychological pressure on them. So in essence, it's the same thing between both of them.
How you mentioned about the celebrities and how it affects young people sometimes. Next we'll be having Inioluwa. So please give us your concluding remark.
All right, thank you very much, Eniola. Timilade said that social media play a vital role in putting pressure on girls. Well, that is very much similar to guys too, because this is a digital age and every one of us is affected by what we see on social media. Let me give you an example. Most of these guys that we see on the street, most of the guys in high school, most of the guys in college, and in every part of the world, we connect one way or the other, and we see what other people are doing. We see what other guys are doing. We see how people are flaunting money, how they are flaunting gadgets, flaunting cars, expensive clothes, and other things. But that pressure of I want to be like them will be on you also. As a young man, you want to be like my mates are doing this. Why can't I get this kind of money? You see some people going to club, posting everything, doing the travels and all, and you are like, I want to live this lifestyle. I want to ball like these guys. That pressure is bound to be on a young man. But the best thing you can do for yourself is to make sure that this thing does not get into your head. Though it's bound to be there, it's definitely going to affect you one way or another. And the same way it affects ladies, just like how they are always influenced by what other people say, what other ladies think, what the clothes they wear, and everything they do. Guys, in the same way, will want to be wearing the expensive clothes. But you need to know that life is in stages. There are some people that they work legitimately for their money and they've gotten to the point where they can afford what they want. As a young man, you need to know that you will also get to that stage. You don't have to be pressured by what you see. Some people are making money from illegal means. You don't have to be like them. You don't have to be pressured. Just stick to what you know how to do best. Focus on your career goals. Focus on what you believe.
In conclusion, I believe that peer pressure is the same thing amongst boys and girls, but we as individuals, we can determine how far it goes. So, but that means coming to a state of awareness where we are able to identify positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. So just because your friends say it doesn't mean it's good, right? You have to be able to listen to your gut, know what your heart is telling you. So even if it's something that seems profitable, that seems fruitful, if in your head it's not making you at ease, then don't go for it. So for example, if they're advising you to go for a competition and everyone is like, go for it, go for it, go for it. But you know, in all honesty, that's not what you want to do. Like, not you giving into anxiety, but you actually don't want to do it. Like, it's not your field. Maybe you just want to be in the library, you want to be reading. Then go for the library. Go with your gut feeling. Don't allow people to pressure you into something that is not for you.
All right, maybe I love the summary you raised. I would like to add that as a young person, you need to know that you are responsible for every decision you make. The best advice I'll give you now is surround yourself with people that will influence you positively, not people that will influence you negatively. Because for every decision you make, you are responsible for it. So, the best thing you can do is do not subject yourself to negative pressure, whether from social media or from your peer group or from anywhere. But instead, if you want something, if you want to be influenced by things that can make a change in your life, that can improve your grades, that can improve your skills, that can improve you on every aspect of your life. And that will be all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's some really great stuff. Thank you for mentioning about that, especially what you said about people of influence and how boys would want to, live a lifestyle like that when they see people flashing money and things like that. So yeah, that's great. My personal take is I think the peer pressure before boys and girls similar in terms of the lifestyle that they want to live. They see people flashing money, especially what you see on social media. But I also think it's quite different. So for girls, it might just be more about looks. For boys, it's more about success and, having the biggest cars, the best girl in your arm and things like that. Yeah, so that's everything. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And thank you to our speakers for giving us those insight into peer pressures. So make sure to tune in. Our talk show is every once a month. Next month, we've got a really interesting topic. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. And just before you leave, stay tuned for MYEC News. So I'll be passing you on to Chinedu, who will give you a little bit of announcements and news of upcoming events that are coming up.
Hi guys, thank you for staying tuned. My name is Chinedu. I hope you guys enjoy our talk show. Exams are coming out. Are you guys nervous or excited? On the 17th of August, your A-levels and AS should be out. And on the 24th of August, your GCSE should be out. Did you guys know that you can request for your math script? And if you feel like you didn't get, or you believe that you didn't get your required marks, you can request for that results to be remarked. Speak to your school about it. Our upgrade project will be coming up on the 19th and on the 26th of August. On the 21st of October, our end of the project party, Project Everness, is going to take place. Are you guys excited for it? For more information, it will be right next to me.